Krishna, Hare Hare, all together.
Hare Krishna devotees, please accept my humble obeisances of the Shri Prabhupada. Welcome devotees to our morning Bhagavatam class. This morning we are on Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 11, Verse 8. And the chapter is entitled The Lord's Departure to Dwarka. Of course, and we are very happy to have His Holiness Candramauli Swami with us. Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to you and Shri Prabhupada.
Nice to see you.
You too, Maharaj, and that too in US.
Yeah, I'm here in Cincinnati.
Oh, nice. Maharaj, you used to be based down there many years ago, right?
Back in the late 80s, early 90s.
That's what I remember. You're back in your neck of woods, back in your groove, Maharaj.
I saw some of the old souls. Yeah, I guess so. It's good.
That's nice. How is the weather over there in Ohio?
Oh, it's been kind of shifting a lot. Yesterday was really cold. Today it looks like it's warm and sunny. So it's just going back and forth.
Yeah, here's the same thing too in Pennsylvania. It's fluctuating.
Yeah, a lot. This is the time of the year it fluctuates, changing, just going into the new season of spring.
Yes, Marge. Marge is all yours whenever you want to start.
Okay, I do have everything's a little shorter today because I have to leave soon to catch a flight. So I'm going to have to make it about 45 minutes, the whole program.
Yes, Marge, whatever pleases you, Marge, whatever suits you.
Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Aho Sanatan Bhavatas Mayam Vayam. Jai Vistapanam Abiduram Darshanam. Premam Smita Snigdam Niriksananam. Pashyema Rupam Tava Sarva Saubhagam. Oh, it is our good luck that we have come again today under your protection by your presence. For your lordship rarely visits even the denizens of heaven. Now it is possible for us to look into your smiling face, which is full of affectionate glances. We now see your transcendental form, full of all auspiciousness. The Prabhupada's purport: the Lord in his eternal personal form can be seen only by the pure devotees. The Lord is never impersonal, but he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, possible to be visited by devotional service face to face. which is impossible to be done even by the denizens of the higher planets. When Brahmaji and other demigods wanted to consult Lord Vishnu, the plenary portion of Lord Krishna, they have to wait on the shore of the ocean of milk where Lord Vishnu is lying on white land, Svetadweep. This ocean of milk and the Svetadweep planet are the replica of Vaikuntha Loka within the universe. Neither Brahmaji nor the demigods like Indra can enter into this island of Svetadweep, but they can stand on the shore of the ocean of milk and transmit their message of Lord Krishna, known as Shirodakshai Vishnu. Therefore, the Lord is rarely seen by them. But the inhabitants of Dwarka, because of their being pure devotees without any tinge of material contamination of fruitive activities and empirical philosophical speculation, can see him face to face by the grace of the Lord. This is the original state of the living entities and can be attained by reviving our natural constitutional state of life, which is discovered by devotional service only. Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasnaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Tinamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvisesa Sunyavadi Vastyatyares Vanchakopa Tarubhasya Vipasindhu Devi Chitanam Bhavane Vaishnave Namo Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So the Lord can only be seen by his pure devotees. So pure devotional service is the means by which one can receive the full mercy of the Lord, and the Lord can appear before them. When Srila Prabhupada was asked, "Are you seeing Krishna?" Prabhupada used to say, "There was never a time I wasn't seeing Krishna." So a pure devotee can actually talk to Krishna, can see Krishna face to face. But that's rare. It says here that even the denizens of heaven cannot have that opportunity because they are saguna. They have material desires yet, although they're very highly elevated and very powerful persons with a lot of influence, still they're not pure. And so purity is the pure devotee. People have pure activities, but that doesn't mean they're pure devotees. But pure devotee, Krishna says, only by unalloyed devotional service can I be seen as I am standing before you, and thus be seen directing it. Only in this way can you enter into the mysteries of my understanding. So Krishna is a person, and he likes to reveal himself, but he's not cheap. It's like even to get a meeting with the president of a country may not even be possible for most people. And for those who do, it may take a long time for them to achieve that meeting. And that's an ordinary person in the material world. But the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the source of everything and everyone, he's very kind by nature, but there is a qualification to actually see him or directly experience his presence. And that is devotional service. And Rupa Goswami gives the formula, Ayabila Sita Sunya, Jnana Kamanana Vitarmana Kulena Krishna Silanam Bhakti Uttamam. That devotional service has to be without motivation, with a desire to please Krishna. And and done with the motivation to please Krishna. There are people who can please Krishna, but they're not motivated to please Krishna. Such as the demons. Demons please Krishna because he likes to fight. He kills them. He's happy that he can get a little exercise in, use his fighting propensity. But they get liberation, but they don't get love of God. And so, because they don't try to please him. So a devotee, when they serve, they try to think how to make this nice so Krishna will be happy. And that consciousness, when it expands itself in a continuous way, attracts the attention of Krishna. When it becomes full, that means when what is full devotional service? When one's body, mind, senses, everything is fully engaged in the service of the Lord. That is pure devotional service with a desire to please Krishna. So that is the nature of the soul's existence. But due to the association of material energy, we see even great personalities like demigods who are superior to the humans are still not able to see. But here, and it's giving that the residents of Dwarka, they were so fortunate they could see Krishna face to face because they were his associates and they had developed pure love for him. I was just listening to Prabhupada today. He was explaining that to love God is the purpose of religious practice. And if one considers themselves a religionist or practicing spirituality, but they're not practicing the mood of loving God or trying to love God, and then their practice is bogus. It's useless, a waste of time. So that is the but it's the only goal of devotional service is to awaken one's natural understanding. Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema, Saruka Munai Sravanadi Siddhi Chitte Koriye Udai. The nature of the living entity's existence is to love and serve God, but it's covered. Therefore, the process of devotional service, beginning with the chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, is cutting away the coverings that are blocking one's natural love for Krishna. And so Prabhupada said that can be revived. Every living entity can love God because it's natural. But to see Krishna, sometimes people say, well, I want to see God. Well, what's your qualifications for seeing God? Who are you and who do you think just because you want to see God, you can see God? Of course, we just use the example. Even if you wanted to see a great person, doesn't mean you will see that just because you want to. So in the same way, people sometimes think that God is not so cheap. It requires qualifications. It requires a certain state of existence in order to attain the direct mercy. But we can see God through the practice of devotional service when we understand that the Lord is the source of everything, and He is the controller of everything. He is the goal of all activities. His existence is everywhere, both within the universe and even outside of the universe. And He is in all of the different living entities' heart and super soul. He's in the atom. He even exists there in His personal form within the atom. He's everywhere. But we can't see Him because we are looking for enjoying this material world. So as long as that enjoying desire is still there, Krishna remains hidden, although He is everywhere and the closest thing to us. So the whole idea of devotional service is to awaken that love for Krishna. It mentions here how Brahmaji and many of the demigods were standing on the ocean of milk. They could get to that level. There's a place called Swetadweep. It's also known as Dhruva Loka. Dhruva Loka, that planet on the island of Dhruva Loka, is also called Swetadweep. It's another name of it. And there is a milk ocean. And the story is that when the demigods were having difficulty managing the universal affairs, and it becomes impossible for them to deal with the demons, just like when Krishna appeared 5,000 years ago, the earth was harassed by so many demons. So Mother Earth came to Lord Brahma and explained the situation, and he gathered some of the chief demigods, and they went to the ocean of milk and offered beautiful prayers. But they didn't see the Lord, but the Lord could hear their prayers, and they can also hear the Lord respond back. They were able to speak to him. They came with their service need. That is that universal affairs are being, upset by the presence of the demons. So when they can't solve it, and then they go to the Lord, and the Lord will do something. Sometimes he sends a representative to do it. Sometimes he sends an expansion of himself to do it, one of his incarnations, or sometimes, in very rare cases, he comes personally. 5,000 years ago, he came personally. And it's nicely explained in the very beginning of the Bhagavatam how the demons approached the Lord, and the Lord agreed to come, and he did. So, and then people could see him, but even those who saw him didn't recognize who he was. Prabhupada explains in one statement that, millions and millions of living entities, saw Krishna. That Prabhupada said only between 100 and 200 actually understood his position as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that's a very rare opportunity. Even though Krishna is personally present and you can see him, but you can't recognize who he is. You might think he's a very powerful person, a very beautiful person, something, or maybe even, an incarnation, but they can't understand. No, they cannot even understand his position unless they come to the platform of pure devotional service, which is the constitutional nature of all living beings. So to come to the stage of pure devotional service means coming back to your actual identity. We're in this material world, and we have developed so many different identities based on our having a particular body and the activities that we perform in relationship to the body. But none of these activities are actually in line with our actual nature. These are conditioned activities. So this material world is just it's a drama, it's a show. And we're acting out our part as a living being, but this is not the reality. Reality is in the spiritual world. We're playing the part. We get a particular body, we get a particular set of circumstances we find ourselves in, and we act within that. And therefore, we identify that. But it's just like if you take part in a drama, you're given a particular part to play in a particular drama. But it doesn't mean you are that part. You're playing that part, you may play it very nicely, but you keep your actual identity. So in the same way, living entities in this material world are acting out their life in such a way as that they're actually engaged in dramatic activities. Not really. It's just the way it is. That's the nature of this material world. it's not our home. We're somehow stuck here because of our desire to be independent of the Lord. But that can be easily overcome if we take to this process of devotional service with serious activities, and we can somehow or other return back to our natural position, which is the platform of freedom. Okay, so we'll stop there and see if there's any comments or questions.
Thank you so much, Marge. It was such a wonderful class, even though it's a short one, but it still was really, really nice. Would like to ask devotees, if you can please show your videos so we can see each other. And also, if you have any questions, please do raise your hand so I can call upon you in the right order. Yes, Raj Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Raj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Raj, why did Brahma and the demigods go to the edge of the ocean rather than traditionally we hear that people go to hold a Mahayagna, or they go in front of the deities. So what was the reason for going to the edge of the milk ocean?
Well, they wanted to speak to Lord Vishnu, Hiradakshay Vishnu, mentioned in the purport, that when they have problems, they go, but they can't go any farther. They can only go to the edge of the ocean of milk. The Lord is there in that ocean. He resides on Lakshmi, and he's floating in that ocean of milk, and he's performing his pastimes there. But that's as far as they can go. They can just go to the shore.
Did they pray to the Lord like we do?
And the prayers are mentioned. It's called the Purusha Shukta prayers. There's a series of prayers that's mentioned. You can also look up those prayers. These are the prayers that they offered to the Lord. And the Lord was pleased by their prayers, and then he responded. It's not that they simply came and then gave their request to the Lord. They made themselves present, and then they offered beautiful prayers. When the Lord turned his attention to them, then they explained why they came.
Okay.
That's the etiquette too. When you approach the Lord, or even you approach the spiritual master, you should always offer some preliminary introduction in the form of a prayer or a very personal greeting, and not simply speak. That's, of course, when we do classes, that's different, but when we're in a personal association, and we always introduce ourselves by glorifying the person or saying something in relationship to the person that is pleasing, and then we speak our mind. And that's generally the spiritual pathway. And particularly is enunciated in the presence of the Lord. So you can just do a little research and try to find Purusha Shukta prayers, and then you can read those prayers that Brahmaji offered to Lord Vishnu. And there was a small gathering of demigods. Indra was also there, and some of the chief demigods came.
Thank you, Maharaj.
That was a nice question, Raj Prabhu. Thank you for asking that. Anyone else has a question to ask? Please raise your hand, or you can, actually, if you can raise your hand, that way I don't miss anyone, because we have a group of 27 participants today, which is very, very nice. Marge, I have a question, and I believe, I think I heard it correctly, but if you can please clarify the point, Marge. You said that pure activities does not mean one is a pure devotee.
Yeah.
Can you explain that, Marge, please?
Yeah, it means you still have material desires, but you're acting purely. And you're following the four regulative principles, you're chanting your rounds, you're doing everything according to the standard given by the spiritual master and by the Shastra. So pure activity. Prabhupada talks about that. That before one can give full attention to hearing transcendental discourses, one has to be pure in action. But doesn't mean you have to, pure devotee means no more, the only desire is to please Krishna. No more material desires are situated within the heart. In other words, one has become cleansed of all material contaminations, all material activities. That's a pure devotee. But one should act purely in order to achieve that state of pure devotion. If one is not following the four regulative principles, they're not acting according to the standard of purity as given by the Guru and by the Shastra, then they will never attain the state of pure devotion. Yeah.
So, Marge, what you're saying is it's okay for devotees to act purely because that will take us to that stage of pure devotional service?
That's okay. You have to act purely. It's a requirement. Otherwise, you can't make advancement.
Thank you, Marge.
Yeah,
Yes. Thank you, Marge. I was going to ask another question, but I'll ask Sri Devi. Somehow she cloned herself to Srimati, so I'm trying to figure out what she is today.
She travels around the world. We don't know where she's going to wind up next.
She's like Narada Muni, right, Marge?
I'm in Srimati's home, Anasuya.
I'm messing with you. I figured out.
In the home of Vaishnavas who kindly tolerate me. So Guru Maharaj is
Wonderful.
I'm getting opportunity to do some seva. Please accept my most humble obeisances, dear Guru Maharaj. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to our wonderful Guru Parampara. Guru Maharaj, I am a little curious to know that these demigods, being very powerful, also very intelligent, and also very knowledgeable, they know the position of the Lord, they understand the position of the Lord all too well, and they serve the Lord even 1,000 million times more than ordinary human beings can. Yet, how is it that they do not come to the point of pure devotional service?
Because they want to be demigods. They want that position of controller. As long as you have any personal desire, you are still haven't made it to pure devotional service. And that's brought out by the story of Vitrasura when he was fighting with Indra. Indra was criticized because, he petitioned, to kill Vitrasura because Vitrasura was disturbing the whole. So, the demigods have to make sure that things go on. And many of them, most of them have desires to be a demigod. So any independent desire is contrary to pure devotional service. It's like we have the example of, what's her name? Sri Devi. He likes to travel around the world and have fun. So that's her program.
Please cure me, Gurudev.
It's not possible. I tried. No, it's left in the hands of higher powers. I can't do it.
She must be following the footsteps of Narada Muni Maharaj. I don't know.
Well, I think it's a Narada Muni that we don't know about. One that is a little bit different. Well, I expect it. That's the.
Guru Maharaj, I'm getting back to Mayapur in 1 week. I promise you, I'm going back to Mayapur on 10 days practically. I'm going back to Mayapur. I promise you. The ticket is booked. There's nowhere else to go.
Until another opportunity comes up before then. Anyway, so as long as we have any personal desire other than the execution of pure devotional service, then we're tinged. So the demigods are like that. They want to be demigods. That's all.
Such great personalities with so much knowledge, with so much intelligence. Brahma is a pure intelligence. His body is pure intelligence. If they can be enamored of the material energy, what hope is there for little ants like me, Gurudev?
Well, it mentions that in the residents of Dwarka were pure devotees. They were living on awakening. They had the opportunity to see Krishna face to face because they were in love with Krishna. We develop our love for Krishna, then we can see Krishna face to face. Pure love. But if love is mixed with some other desire, it's not pure. It may be very elevated, but until it comes to purity. And you see some of the songs of Bhakti Vinod Thakur gives the formula of what is pure love. But don't worry, just follow the process. And then gradually, as we make progress, we start to detach ourselves from all of our other activities and start to focus more and more on trying to please Krishna and trying to serve the Lord in every situation we find ourselves in.
Nice question, Srimati.
Thank you. Thank you.
I have to call you Sri Devi. See, I'm looking at the name. I'm calling you Srimati instead of Sri Devi Mataji.
Srimati, the pure devotee is right here.
Right next to
I've
you.
come to get some association and some purification.
Be careful, Srimati. She might take over the house,
You're getting mercy, Sri Devi. I'll tell you, you're getting a lot of sweet mercy. Oh my God. I wish.
I'm getting the sauce. That's what I'm getting.
It's mercy. It really is mercy. Thank you. Amazing. Any questions from devotees? Any thing coming up in your mind? We have about 10 minutes, Maharaj.
Yeah, about let's see, quarter to the hour should be
10 minutes. Okay. Does anyone else have any question before Maharaj leaves Cincinnati and goes to another place?
Chicago.
Yes. Namrata Mataji, go ahead.
Hare Krishna. With my humble apologies, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. So Guru Maharaj, just the follow-up of what Sri Devi Mataji was saying, that how do we get rid of this doership mentality?
How do we get rid of what mentality?
Doership, the controlling mentality or doership.
When you simply put your hands completely when you put your life in the hands completely of Krishna, and you allow his pure devotee to guide you, then, you know, Tita Dan Mo Jatu Haradao. In other words, when we simply are sold out to whatever the spiritual master is giving us, which is the direction that by which Krishna wants us to follow. That's all. And we can control, but we control for Krishna, not independent. But to be attached to our position is what the demigods are experiencing. They're controlling for Krishna, but they're attached to becoming in the position of demigod. A devotee will accept whatever Krishna wants. In other words, Krishna may say, well, you're serving over here doing that, so now we want you to go over here and serve in this way. So then you have to, you say, oh, well, that's all right. Doesn't matter where I'm serving, as long as I have the opportunity to serve. That's an indication of pure devotion. But if we get attached to serving in a certain way, even though it's service, very elevated, but still it's a personal attachment. We should be attached to the object we serve more than the service that we perform. So it doesn't mean in the spiritual master or even the local authorities will not engage you according to how best you can serve or even how you like to serve. But you should not be attached to that. You should be ready to do whatever is necessary at any time. That's the consciousness of a devotee. Not like, well, I'm going to serve this way, and at least I'm serving. Well, yeah, that's nice. But that means you think you know what is best. But the idea is to become detached from all personal desires and become fully attached to Krishna. And so to prepare that, the spiritual master gives us many tests that we have to pass in order to somehow or other detach us from our own ideas and attach us more to Krishna. And that's his service, to help bring about that detachment.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj. I think that is revealing a lot how we should improve our service as well, and how we, how demigods are so, they're powerful, yet they are attached, yet they are controlling, in a controlling mood, so that demigods. So if we keep such kind of mentality, we can qualify to get a higher position, but then it's not a pure devotion.
The prime example was Chitraketu. Chitraketu was cursed by Parvati after she had thought that he had committed an offense to Lord Shiva. She told him that, you have to go to hell. He offered his obeisances to Parvati, thanked her, referred to her as mother, and he was on his way to accept the curse that she gave him. When Shiva saw that, he was amazed, and he said, this is the glory of the devotees of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Whether they're in heaven and hell, doesn't make a difference. And he compared it to a compass. Compass always is geared towards the north. So wherever they're in, whatever they are, they're always focused on the Supreme Lord in devotional service. There's a beautiful verse. I'm not sure the exact number. It's in the particular passage. Narayana para sarve. You can look up that verse. Narayana para sarve na kusyata na vidyate. It's in the 4th canto. Not sure what particular chapter it is. Narayana. Narayana. Beautiful verse. It's quoted by the acharyas often. Narayana.
I'm going to search it on the database, Maharaj. Narayana. Parasarve, Maharaj, you said?
Yeah. Narayana para sarve na kushana na vidyate. Varga apavarga tuyarta. These are some of the words.
Srimad Bhagavatam, and you said it's in Canto 4, right?
Yeah, that's for sure. And you look up the chapter title. I think it's called Decade to Curse by Parvati.
Okay, let me look for that one. Chitraketu first.
I think it's verse number 27 in that chapter.
Verse 27. Okay, this is, I think I'm Chitraketu. Let me try that.
Narayana, Narayana. It's the first word.
4140, I think, Maharaj. Let me try that.
No, it's not. It's not that early in the.
It's not that early, so probably it might be in the first canto. Then I'm thinking
No,
of.
it's not.
I mean, no. I mean, Canto 4, the first chapter.
No, it's much later. It's
Can I just help Anusya?
Please,
It is
please, Sridevi.
Srimad Bhagavatam 6:17-28.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Okay, 6:17.
28.
Yep, 6:17-28. Going there.
I'm sorry. I said 4th canto.
It's all right, Marge. I was just didn't want to make you wait so long, and I was delaying you, so I apologize, Marge. I'm getting there.
6, 7.
There we go. 6:17, you said, right? No, oops.
20. Try 27, not 28.
6:17-20.
Just show the listing of the verses.
Sure, Marge.
Yeah. Let's see. Let me see. He had 28, 6:17. Devotees solely engaged in devotional service. That's it.
Yep.
Narayana parasarvena kuschitana vidyate swarga varga parvarga narakeshu api tuyartha darshanaha. Devotees solely engaged in devotional service of the Supreme Lord Narayan never fear any conditional life. For them, the heavenly planets, liberation, and hellish planets are all the same. For such devotees are interested only in the service of the Lord. And the purport expands on that. They have no eagerness to be happy or being placed in the heavenly planets, becoming liberated, becoming one with Brahman, whose benefits do not appeal to the pure devotees. They're simply interested in giving direct service to the Lord. Yeah. They do not mind reverses in life because in the service in the Narayan, they have learned to tolerate whatever hardships there may be. They do not care whether they are in heaven or in hell. They simply engage in the service of the Lord. This is their excellence. It's also very high state, but it is the indication of pure devotional service. Mostly. Lord Chaitanya says, Nadanam, Najanam, Nasundarim, Kavitam Vajagati Shatam Uye, Manma Janmani, Janmani Ishware, Bhavata Bhakti, Ahoy Kiti Chvaya. I don't want wealth, I don't want followers, I don't want the pleasure of the opposite sex. I don't even want to be known as a great devotee of the Lord. I simply want to engage in devotional service life after life. Janmani Janmani Ishvare Bhavatad Bhaktya Haiti Kitvi. So this is one of the indications of pure devotional service.
Thank you so much. That elaborately answers, clarifies. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. I would suggest the devotees keep the discussion going. I do have to leave because I'm going to catch a flight very soon. So keep it going. It's a nice discussion. You can have questions and answers among yourself there. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Maharaj, and we hope to see you on Thursday, this Thursday, right, Maharaj?
Yeah, I'll be in Chicago on Thursday.
Okay, thank you so much, Maharaj. Shiv Prabhupada ki jai, His Holiness Candramauli Swami ki jai. So we'll keep on the discussion as Maharaj has suggested.
Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Would like to ask devotees if you have any questions that you would like to ask or any clarification that we can try our best. I'm glad I have Sri Devi with me, so that's good. If we can, yes, Ulpesh Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Please accept my humble obeisances. Yeah, I just wanted to ask, how many people actually really would want to come back lifetime to be a pure devotee of the Lord and just to serve Him? Because, we always talk about going back to Godhead or going back to the, spiritual world. Even like when the Maharaj leaves his body, we say that, he's gone back. We never say, he's going to be reborn to continue serving the Lord.
So your question is how many devotees or how many people really want to come back? Is that your question, Prabhu?
Yeah,
Prabhu, I have to share with you, I have met people who actually have told me, and when they told me, my mouth just dropped open. They have actually said, I would love to come back because I didn't achieve this in this life. I want to achieve it in next life. And I said, you're crazy. Because they are already struggling. And what is so sad, and it's interesting that you asked this question, because I feel really, really sad, really, really sad and sorry when I hear this from people saying, I haven't achieved this, so I want to come back next life and achieve it. But the sad point or the missing link is that we don't even know, or the person won't even know in what state they will come back in. Like it's, in this life, they might be rich and they didn't get probably a beautiful wife or husband. In next life, they might become in a poor family, like they don't know. But it's just that it's the attachment of wanting to fulfill the material desires that they haven't done this life. And I've heard people say, it's okay, Mataji, I have next life. I said, Are Baba, why are you wasting so much energy? And we can just go back, but they are very comfortable, Prabhu. Sadly speaking, there are people, they just want to achieve, like Maharaj said, they are so attached to the position of wanting to achieve what they could not get this life. So they do want to come back next life because they are so attached and they don't want to let go. And I think that's the point, is they are so attached that they don't want to get detached.
So sorry, Mataji, I think you've slightly misunderstood what I was asking.
I apologize.
Right, that it's good, but what I was trying to ask was, somebody who's a pure devotee says, I want to be reborn again so I can continue to serve the devotees.
I've heard that from many sannyasis, because that shows how pure they are. Because at least I have heard that from proper disciples a lot. They are so surrendered that they just want to please their spiritual master, and I know so many of them where all they say is what Prabhupada wants, like very thing, what Prabhupada wants, where there are some of us like myself, we are like, but I'm so tired. Can I get out of this material world and never come back again? Like my husband is going through some health challenges, and he every now and then he would tell me, will I ever go back this life? And I said, I hope, because you're really suffering a lot. But proper disciples will say, whatever the Lord wants, if I have to serve in another planet, chanting the holy name, I'll do it. And I think that is their level of surrender. I feel it's their level of surrender, their level of dedication and commitment, and their level of detachment. That they said, this is not me, this is not my body, this is what everything I have is not mine, is the Lord. So they are fully 200, 300, 400% convinced, with no attachment, that if the Lord wants to beat me up, wants to, do whatever, fine. That's what's coming to my mind. Sri Devi, what do you, okay. That's what's coming to my mind, because and this reminds me of this very nice verse in the Sri Shastakam, where Lord Chaitanya says, even if he handles me roughly by his embrace, or makes me broken-hearted before me, they don't care. They're just so surrendered, and I always ask myself, geez, will I ever get a mustard seed size of that? It's so high level purity. So high level purity. Yes, Sri Devi, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, you encapsulated everything. You've answered the question completely. I just would like to add my little 2 cents. That's all. The thing is, at neophyte level, we are supposed to want to go back to Godhead. We are so neophyte. We can't, claim, oh, wherever Krishna keeps me, I will serve. We are not capable of that. So Srila Prabhupada did say at neophyte level, you should want to go back, because that's the only way you will get purified. That's one. Second, as you rightly said, the pure devotees are situated in transcendence. So no matter how hellish the condition, because they are so fixed on the Lord, they can continue to serve the Lord. But we are not so strong. We are very conditioned, and any little thing is enough to make us wobble unsteadily. So we cannot make the prayer like the pure devotees are praying, as Shilpesh Prabhu says, my dear Lord, lifetime after lifetime, wherever you send me, I'm happy to come back even to this material world or the hellish planets or heavenly planets, I'll wherever I am, because they have fully realized. They're fully self-realized. They have attained that position of complete transcendence. So then wherever they are placed, they are fixed up. It doesn't make a difference. But we are not like that. We are not there yet. So we cannot afford to make such lofty prayers, knowing how weak and fallen and conditioned we are. That's the difference between them and us. That's all I have to say. Thank you. Nice.
That's wonderful, Mataji. That clears it all up for me. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I don't feel so bad to say I don't want to come back. I want to go home.
Actually, there's also verses, Prabhu, that I have heard, and actually, no, that I have read by Srila Prabhupada, purports. And I've even read his lecture transcriptions, that it is not wrong. In fact, Balabhadra Prabhu, who's a senior disciple of Prabhupada, based in Atlanta, he said, it is not wrong for us to say, I want to get out of this hellish planet, because I don't want to come back, because I know it's going to be like worse, like 10 years. Like I would always tell myself, and I even tell my daughters, even my husband, I said, if Kali Yuga is so bad now, I can't even imagine how crazy it will be. Not even 100, say like 25 years from now, it's so crazy, like especially when I see the youth and the young people, everything is automated. And I'm thinking, oh my God, so 25 years from now, is it going to be just push of a button? Everything's just going to happen for them? Like, then where, if everything is push of a button, then how can we, where is the opportunity for us to render devotional service? Everything's just going to push of a button. There's no work involved, So, and Prabhupada did say in many transcriptions, it is not wrong to say, I want to get out. I want to go back to the Lord. I'm tired of this. Because like we've also heard, Krishna's waiting for us on the other side to embrace us. That beautiful picture coming back to the spiritual world when he holds the devotee, he's waiting to embrace us. So it is not wrong. It is definitely not wrong. So you're safe, Prabhu. Your prayer is good. Your desire is good.
Thank you so much. Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you.
Because I have that same thing because I'm tired. It's just crazy out there. Every day I seem like, oh my God, Krishna. So that was a nice question. Thank you. Thank you for asking that, though. It's a really nice question and discussion too.
Thank
And
you,
take
Mataji.
us too, Shilpesh Prabhu. We are also,
Please
don't forget us, okay?
pray
So
for
I-
us.
Actually, no, I'm holding on to my wife's like, sorry. I'm praying that. She goes, takes me back.
You know,
She's
actually,
a much better devotee than I am.
actually, I've heard, many sannyasis say that it's very fortunate if we can hang on to a devotee's dhoti, kurta or sari, and just like this very senior a senior god brother of mine, and Sri Devi knows him very well, Bali Maharaj, who left his body last year, actually, on a few days before or after Nityananda Trayodasi. And this was in the mid-90s. And I remember my spiritual master told us, he says, if any one of you want to go back to Godhead, grab hold of Bali's dhoti, because he was so transcendental. Nothing bothers that man. I have never seen him get angry. And he moves so slow of his old body, but he's always smiling, always chanting. So, we want to be attracted to such devotees and then grab onto their sari and their dhoti and their kurta to pull us back to Godhead and hope that they'll pray for us, when they're on the other side. But yes, you got the right attitude, Prabhu. Absolutely. Nice question.
Thank
I
you,
see a couple of chats in the so we should have that wish to go back to God. Yes, so Sukhavama Mataji. I've heard, I literally have, if only I can quote that that lecture by Srila Prabhupada, but there are many lectures, and I always encourage devotees, if we can, at least once a week or once a day, if not once a week at least, to really read Prabhupada's transcription, his lectures, and hear it, because I've heard Srila Prabhupada says that the goal is to go back to God and hope to never come back, just get out of this crazy world, because we'll be so entangled. But that's what Srila Prabhupada said. I'm just repeating what the founder Acharya said from his lectures. Yes. And anyone else has any questions, anything that's coming to your mind, anything that yesterday when Sri Devi told me, sorry, Srimati, I have to work on this. My mind is flipping on me, Sri Devi. When Srimati told me last night that Maharaj may or may not give class, and she said, Mataji, prepare the verse. I said, it was like around 11 p.m. last night. And I was reading the verse, and I remember that we had a class on this a few months back. The key point that I really, really liked about this verse was, I remember many spiritual masters, even my spiritual master, have said that even the demigods are envying the devotees, believe it or not, because we have the opportunity to chant the holy name and do service, like direct devotional service. And I remember, Guru saying that the demigods, they're actually waiting in line to come to the material world, to take birth in the material world, so that they can engage in the Sankirtan movement of Lord Chaitanya. So when he said, when I heard that, I got goosebumps like I'm having right now, because that it shows how fortunate we are, that we are given this opportunity to be part of Lord Chaitanya's movement, chanting the holy name in Harinam Sankirtan, whereas the demigods are waiting in line, like in the queue. Okay, I want to join that. I want to join them. So we are very fortunate to have the opportunity and the mercy, by the mercy of the spiritual master, to be able to, chant the holy name, to be part of Lord Chaitanya's Sankirtan movement, that the demigods are envying us. I mean, wow, who are we, right? Fallen conditioned souls. And that was one thing that really inspired me from that verse. And the other point that inspired me from the purport is devotional service. how devotional service is what awakens the dormancy within our lives, within our hearts. We have to do devotional service, and that's our natural propensity. And that was two main points that really struck out for me was devotional service, because I remember listening to a lecture also where this devotee said that devotional service is none other than Krishna. It's hand in hand, just like how when we chant the holy name, the Lord is dancing on our tongue. We've heard that. When we read Bhagavatam, we are having direct association with the Lord. We're hearing from the Lord. Same thing when we are given service, it's Krishna. It's so powerful, that we are given that opportunity for service. Yes, Namrata, go ahead.
I don't have a question though. I just wanted to share that the daily classes are so powerful that we are really clearly able to understand the difference and the opportunity to understand that why it is so important on being a devotee rather than entering into the impersonal philosophy or Mayavadi or demigod worship. And this classes really have made me has given me a lot of clarity on all these factors, because before coming to devotional service, we do have a lot of queries. Certain queries are at subtle level as well, which you keep pinpointing that why is it like this, why is it like that, why not we even demigods are personal, then why can't we do this, and so a lot of clarity that why we should not hang up to all this rubbish things. And so and this is ultimately being grateful to Srila Prabhupada that he has given such a philosophy which could make us so clear and bypass such this filters. So I really thank Guru Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada and all the wonderful Vaishnavas. Thank you very much.
Beautiful thought, Namrata, because hearing is what helps us, to put us on the right track, that, like you said, the morning classes every single day, it's so pure, it's so sweet, it's sadhu sangha, we share our thoughts, we learn from each other, we ask questions, and it clears up, like you said, it clears up a lot of, doubts and questions and what have yous and this and that. I mean, it really, really does. And I know for me, the morning classes is like, my time to be with the devotees and to hear, like really, really hear, like really crack that heart nut in the head, So yes, thank you. Hearing is the first thing. Shravanam, right? As they say, is the first devotional process.
Yes, and I feel it's so important to get clear out of all this things. I mean, getting yourself fixed up and clarifying all these things are so interconnected.
Yeah.
So I really felt the importance of this. So thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for the beautiful, beautiful feedback. And thank you for your takeaway, actually, and your reflection. Thank you so much. Revati Mataji, go ahead.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you so much for
Jai
all
Shri Prabhupada.
the questions. I was just meditating on Namrata Mataji, what she said, like hearing is so important. Every day when we come to this daily call, we have some takeaway, some strong points that really personally resonate us. So today I just wanted to share this, which really strike me is like Guru Maharaj was telling, right? Attachment to the, object we serve, but not your personal interest. And also Guru Maharaj mentioned, like, we just need to focus how to serve, not how you want to serve. That's really very like personally it resonated to me. So I was thinking like how to practice it at a subtle level, because subtle level we always have this like personal interest, right? At consciously we are understanding theoretically, but subtle we have a little bit of that personal interest. So have any suggestions, Mataji?
So what's coming to my mind is interesting you asked this question, because I remember hearing this and I'm trying to think where. I think in the recent 2 weeks, I was reading a purport or a lecture or hearing a lecture where the speaker said that everybody comes with that, joins at that level of wanting something. What actually helps to clean that up is devotee association. The more we associate with devotees who don't have that personal interest, but they do it because to please the Lord, then we automatically will, not automatic, gradually we will adapt to that. I know for me, I was born and raised as a Christian. And till today, my dad is actually an ordained church minister. And so when I first became a devotee, it was very hard for him to accept that, oh, my daughter has become a Hindu, lack of a better word, because I was raised Christian. But being a Christian, there was one day in a week that we kept it very holy, as they say. So when I became a devotee, when I joined ISKCON, I don't know whether it was before or after I got initiated, and I continued that. I think it was before. I continued that same practice, and somehow the news got to my spiritual master. So he literally called me at work in the middle. He never ever does that. He called me at work, and I happened to answer the phone. I cannot believe it. And of course, I did my intro, and then he started talking, but he was very nice. And he said to me, "It's nice that you come from a background where you keep one day, 24 hours holy, but it's good that you practice that, but we extend it 24/7. So then he explained to me that every activity we do is service to the Lord. So when he tried to help me to see that, I was able to switch it. It's because by hearing and by association. So if we think about the first verse of Sri Shastakam, right? Cheto Darpana Marjanam. It's the cleaning of the heart. It's the cleaning of the heart, because we are carrying lifetimes of baggages. Forget this lifetime. We don't know how many lifetimes we're carrying. So we're carrying a lifetime of baggages that needs a lot of cleaning. So the more we engage in devotional service, the more the personal interest will change to what is pleasing the Lord. And that we get, I know for me, by the mercy of my spiritual master, I got a lot of, most of my my instructions and guidance and shelter came from senior devotees. And some of them were proper disciples, and they will teach me, yes, this is how you were taught, but this is how it's supposed to be done. And they'll explain to me why. So by hearing, by devotee association, and by taking instructions, slowly we will learn to change that. It's a personal interest to, oh, this is what's pleasing to the Lord. Like, for example, if we think, husband and wife, right? For example, like like I know for my husband, like I like to cook a dish a certain way, but he likes it in a different way. So to make him happy, I will cook it the way he likes, because I know he's going to eat it. If I do it my way, he's not going to eat it, because because of love. So slowly, like a newly married woman, the first 6 months to 1 year, we learn about the spouses, and then we change because we want to please the Lord, right? So slowly we learn what is going to please them. Slowly we learn what is going to make them happy, and then we change. And once we change, then we say, oh, I'm also happy because the other person is happy. So the same thing in service. Oh, Krishna is happy, So that also makes me happy. Then slowly the interest goes away. Shridevi, would you like to add something? I called you the right name. Haribol.
I think you answered perfectly, Anasuya.
Okay.
Anasuya, I don't believe that anything needs to be done. When the jewel is perfectly set in the gold locket, no more embellishment is necessary.
You're funny, Shridevi, but you're so kind and loving. But yeah, I hope that helped, Revati.
Yes, Mataji, very nice. I like that devotee association. So we have to associate with the devotees who are like senior, who are working selflessly.
Yes.
And this retreat really helped me, Mataji. Just watching the senior devotees, I really learned so much how selflessly they are doing the service.
I learned everything from the seniors, from association. I remember the first time, I don't know if it's common now, but when I joined, 30 years ago, it is not common for women to wear anything that is sleeveless, So I remember one time I was carrying my first daughter and I was hot. I was so warm and I wore sleeveless and I came for a meeting and my senior god sister said, Anasuya, that's not right. And I asked her why. She says, because a woman's body or a devotee's body should be protected and covered. So she said, you want to, and I told her because I was hot. She goes, okay, then you wear a light shawl to cover your arm because you don't want to expose it. So little things like that, we learn. So since then, I have never worn anything sleeveless because it's conscious. So we learn by devotee association. We learn by receiving instructions. We learn the whys and we learn the hows. We learn the whens, and it's everything. And that's why Prabhupada says, even in the 10 offenses, the last line after that, it says, the avoid a cup of rickshaw trees. It's only by devotee association that we can learn anything, because without that, it's just going to be all gyan, literally. We have to change it from gyan to vigyan, and that can only be done by devotee association. Yeah.
Thank you so much for this.
Thank you. Thank you.
Very
Any other questions? Anything else? Any thoughts coming to your mind? And if there isn't, we thank you all so much for allowing myself and Sri Devi to share whatever little we were trained in our Krishna consciousness by the mercy of our spiritual master. And we thank you for allowing us to serve you on behalf of His Holiness Candramauli Swami. Vancho kraptibhyascha kripasindhabhyevacha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. His
Just a
Holiness
quick-
Candramauli Swami ki.
Just a quick announcement before you end the call, Anasuya.
Go ahead.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. As Guru Maharaj is going to Chicago and he'll be staying there for some time in the central time zone, Guru Maharaj would continue the classes at 8 a.m. Central. So that will become 9 a.m. Eastern for tomorrow. And Friday, Saturday, I don't think he's going to give class. So for tomorrow, it is 9 a.m. Eastern. And until he is in central time zone, that will be the time. Please note, I'll put the message in the groups also, and it will be 2 p.m. UK time. Furthermore, one hour later, the class will be. Please make a note. I'll put a message in the WhatsApp groups too. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Srimati. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Haribol.
Hare Krishna, Mother.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, everyone. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Humble
Krishna.
obeisances to all the Vaishnavas.
Hari Hari Bol.
My sister.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.